All right, let's dive into something we've all felt, that super creepy, spine-tingling feeling that you're being watched, even when you know, for a fact, you're totally alone.
Oh yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Maybe you're home late, it's dark, or you're walking down some quiet street and bam, the hairs on the back of your neck just shoot up. It's this powerful, almost ancient feeling. So, what is that? Where does it come from? Is it just our imagination going into overdrive?
And it's usually the tiniest things that set it off, isn't it? That unexpected noise, a shadow you just barely catch in the corner of your eye. It sends this jolt right through you. But here's the crazy part. That feeling, it's not a bug in our system. It's a feature.
Okay, so let's really get into this. Why are our brains so quick, so ready to jump to the conclusion that someone or something is out there?
You see, this goes way deeper than just a spooky feeling. We're talking about a cognitive instinct that's been hardwired into us. It's a survival tool, literally carved into our minds by millions of years of evolution. And believe me, its effects go way beyond just a simple jump scare.
So to really get this, we've got to travel back in time. And I mean way back. Back to a world where pretty much every single decision you made could be your last.
Just try to put yourself in the shoes of one of our ancient ancestors. The world is a dangerous place. You've got predators hiding in the tall grass, maybe rival groups of humans, just danger everywhere. In that kind of world, your brain has to be a supercomputer, making split-second calculations just to keep you from becoming lunch. Okay, so this table right here, it explains everything. It's based on something called error management theory. Think about it. Our ancestors could make two types of mistakes. The first is a false positive. That's when you hear a rustle in the grass and you think, lion, but it's just the wind. What's the cost? Well, you wasted a bit of energy running away. No big deal, right? But now consider the other mistake, a false negative. That's when you hear the rustle, think it's just the wind, but it's actually a lion. The consequence there, it's catastrophic. It's game over. You're dead. And your genes, they're out of the pool.
So when you look at those two options, evolution basically had no choice. It had to build a solution. And that solution is kind of like a mental smoke detector. This is the thing responsible for that feeling of being watched.
And here's the technical term for it. Scientists call it the Hyperactive Agency Detection Device, or HADD for short. It's a built-in part of our brain that's just biased. It's designed to assume that things happen for a reason, that some agent, a person, an animal, something with a mind is behind the scenes pulling the strings, especially when things are weird or unclear.
The smoke detector analogy is perfect, really. You want your smoke detector to be a little jumpy, right? You'd rather it go off a few times for burnt toast than have it fail to go off during a real fire. Our brains are the exact same way. It is so much better to mistakenly think there's a predator 100 times than to miss the real one even once.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The survivors, the ones whose genes made it to us, they weren't the calm, cool, collected analysts. Nope, they were the jumpy ones, the ones who ran first and figured it out later. We are the inheritors of those paranoid, hypersensitive brains.
Okay, so this instinct was absolutely crucial for not getting eaten. But what happens when this amazing survival tool starts getting applied to, well, everything? That's when things get really interesting and a lot more complex.
Let's follow the logic here, step by step. First, something ambiguous happens. A loud clap of thunder, maybe, or that weird creak from upstairs. Instantly, your HADD triggers. An agent did that. But then you look around, and there's nobody there. Nothing. Does your brain just go, oh, okay, my bad? No way. It makes the next logical jump. If I can't see the agent, it must be invisible.
And this is where it all clicks into place. This one simple mental leap, the idea of an invisible agent, becomes the building block, the raw material for so many of our most profound beliefs. We're talking about animism, the idea that trees or rivers have spirits, ghosts, obviously, even the concept of a soul that's separate from the body, gods, demons, you name it. It all has roots in this one hyperactive little instinct.
There's a cool term for this in evolutionary biology, a spandrel. To imagine the beautiful curved triangle shape you see in the corner where two arches meet in a cathedral. The architect didn't design that shape on purpose. It's just a necessary byproduct of putting two arches together. That's a spandrel. And a lot of scientists think belief in a soul is a cognitive spandrel.
Our HADD wasn't built to make us believe in souls, but it's an almost inevitable byproduct of having a brain that's always looking for agents.
And this isn't just some high-level theory either. We're actually finding a biological basis for it. There's a specific gene that seems to act like a volume knob for our HADD. So if the knob is turned way up, if the system is hyperfunctional, it can be associated with conditions like schizophrenia, where someone might see agency and intention literally everywhere. But if the knob is turned way down, if it's hypo-functional, it can be linked to the autism spectrum, where figuring out other people's intentions can sometimes be a real challenge. It just goes to show you how deep this wiring goes.
All right, let's pull all these threads together. What does this all mean for you and me, just living our day-to-day lives?
Here's the bottom line, the main takeaway from all this. Our brains are not blank slates. Our default setting, right out of the box, isn't skepticism. It's belief in agency. We are naturally, instinctively wired to look for purpose, for intention, for a mind behind the curtain.
And this default setting is powerful because it creates a feedback loop that reinforces itself. See, once your HADD gives you that little nudge, that feeling that someone is there, you start expecting to find an agent. So you start scanning for evidence. And because you're looking for it, you're way more likely to interpret some random coincidence as proof. The system just feeds itself, over and over.
So what this all means is that being a skeptic, well, it's hard work. Choosing to believe the rustle is just the wind, or the creak is just the house settling, that's not our brain's lazy setting. That takes real, conscious, mental effort. You are actively fighting against a powerful, ancient, and honestly incredibly successful survival instinct.
So the next time you get that chill down your spine, that feeling you're not alone, just remember your internal ghost detector. It's probably not an actual ghost. It's the echo of 1,000,000 years of survival. It's your ancestors whispering a warning that kept them alive long enough to become, well, you. And that leaves us with one last huge question to think about. If our minds are literally built to find agents everywhere, how do we ever learn to see the world differently?